It's me. Leave a message at the beep.
Hey man, I think you probably know why I'm calling. So yeah, you put me down as a reference for your new place, and I saw on Facebook that you didn't get it, and I feel kind of bad because I feel like I'm obviously mostly at fault for that because you know I just didn't want I don't want you to move. I don't want you to move. So, and I didn't say anything that wasn't true. I just talked about, some some things that happened, and I won't go into details, but you know what they are. I mean, you know, apparently some landlords frown on beating homeless men half to death, and I get it. It was a dare and a prank. It was a dare prank. It was a prank dare. And you did it. And my hat is off to you. And really, that's what I was saying, is that you're a man of your word. When you say you're going to beat a hobo half to death, by God, you do it. And the fact that he died 3 days later, probably unrelated. So, definitely on the next place, use me as a reference again. This time, I won't bring it up. I got a long list of stuff, and I won't bring that up. So I'll just talk about other things. I'll talk about other things. So anyway, what you should do if you want a good rental reference is just mention your eBay seller rating. I mean, we've all got one of those. Anything over a couple stars is pretty good. So, all right. Well, don't be mad. Okay, talk to you later.
Welcome back, my friends. Oh my gosh, you know what time it is? It's time for the podcast. So welcome you one and all to the, what is this, June 6th podcast? Are we really up to 46 already? Oh my God, where does the time go? I know where it went. It's in the past. It's in the past. Let it go, Elsa. Let it go. But since it is June 6th, I've got some updates. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary awfully damn quick. And last month was the biggest month ever on the podcast. It was only about, 20 or 30% bigger than the month before, which is great. I've never had a real explosive month. I've never had a viral month. Most months are bigger. Some months are a little smaller. But generally, it's an upward trend. And, what's really fun is a lot of people will discover this podcast for the first time and go back and check it out. And you'll get, one day you'll have somebody download 10 old episodes, 20 old episodes. It's kind of neat. And the same goes for YouTube. YouTube. Oh, YouTube. What is wrong with you, YouTube? And I have answers to that too, but I'll go light on that. So yeah, things are going great. No guests this week. No special guests. My guests are special, but none this week. So, why don't we just get right into it with our sponsor message? This week's podcast is brought to you in part by Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese. They're not a sponsor, but, they're still pretty fun. Chuck E. Cheese. When you like pizza that's pretty good, and a salad bar that's all right, think Chuck E. Cheese. When you want fun games in an arcade setting, really, just about the only place you can think is Chuck E. Cheese. So, if you've got kids, and I know at least a handful of my listeners do, you gotta go to Chuck E. Cheese, man. It's really fun. And if you're going to do that, you gotta sign up for their stupid newsletter, which always gets bumped to your promotion box so you don't even see it. But when it's time to go, boom, you got a discount. There you go. Coupons on tap. They'll read them off your phone. They just need the coupon number. It's great. Save, 10, 20 bucks a visit. It's great. All right. Well, hey, let's get started.
Technology.
Okay, so here's a fun one. My wife bought this little speaker box thing that you plug your phone into. She likes to listen to music when she's doing work in the kitchen and whatever, and around the house, whatever. So this thing charges by USB, and it plays music. You plug your cell phone in, whatever, it's great. But she got bored of the music on her cell phone, and she noticed it has a micro SD slot, so she said to me, hey, here's an old micro SD, can you put some music on it for me? My first question is, where in the hell did you get this card? And she said, oh, it's the one that you left around that you used to use. I go, no, that's a counterfeit card. You can't use it. It's garbage. You can fill it part way. Who knows how far? It'll overload. eBay is the worst when it comes to buying memory cards. Don't do it. And even Amazon is full of counterfeits. So these days, I only buy from retailers. I got a micro SD from Walmart the other day, a 64 gig, I think, for like $28 or something. You know, it's not the best price, but it works. Anyway, so she said, just go ahead and put some music on it for me. You know, just whatever. And I was like, can you be more specific? Because there's a lot of music out there. And, you know, I mean, for the love of God, just, you know, tell me what you actually want. No, just, you know what I like. I said, okay, fair. How about this? You go out and you find 8,000 songs that I like and put them on something for me. She's like, oh, I get it. So, you know what? Fair enough. I have a pretty good idea what she likes. And more importantly, I have an idea what she should like. So I filled it half with garbage that I know she'll love, and half with stuff that's actually good that she'll probably hate, but I don't care because it will broaden her musical mind. So I went ahead and loaded up 8,000 songs onto it, and, popped it in, turned it on, hit play, and I tell you, it sounds amazing. It sounds so much better than it did with the cell phone outputting to, through a tiny cable. And a lot of these were in much higher bit rates instead of the standard 128 kilobyte. A lot of them were in 320 or, I don't know, 256, who knows. But anyway, they sound great. It sounds amazing. And that's when I noticed the fatal flaw. It doesn't have a shuffle button. There's no way to make it shuffle. So if if you're sick of this particular artist and you hit next, you might have another 8 albums from them in a row. Now, luckily, as long as it has continuous power, it'll remember where you left off, so you don't have to start at the beginning each time. But I mean, my God, that's a fatal flaw. No shuffle button? I assumed it would shuffle by default. Oh no, my friend. You have to go through all 8,000 songs. So on the plus side, she can't complain she doesn't have anything new to listen to, and she can't complain about repeats. But complaining, in general, is something she can definitely do, and I, as an expert, can tell you she's very good at it. She's really gotten complaining down to an art, really. I mean, down to a science. So, yeah, technology, man. I mean, for $15, I expect perfection. Nah, those days are gone. They just make stuff and crank it out. And really, I don't know what it was. It was $15 or $20. It sounds fantastic. So there you go.
Hot streams for your face.
So I'm not sure if this one is out on DVD yet. If not, you know what? Probably by the time you hear this, it is. If not, it's going to be. Batman v Superman, the lawsuit of the century. It was, critics panned it. And it made good money, so there's that. But really what it was a visual masterpiece of absolute stupidity and directorial ineptitude. It boy, I really wanted to like it, and I guess I did. It got better as it went on, but man, it was so confusing, and there were so many parts where you're just like, what? Why? I don't get it. And the damn thing is like 2.5, maybe almost 3 hours long. It's way too long. But good news, when the DVD comes out, there will be an extended cut available on the DVD. So if you're not confused as shit and bored to tears in the 3-hour runtime, good news, you can spend even more of your life watching this inarguably terrible movie slowly and awkwardly unfold in front of you. It is, quite painful. Ben Affleck does a great job, I guess. The chick that plays Wonder Woman does a fine job. The visual reveal is so stupid. She's at a party, everyone's wearing black and gray, and there she is in a red dress, to which everyone looked around and said, well, I guess that's going to be Wonder Woman in about 2 hours. It was, and my big frustration was the lack of laugh lines. I mean, there were maybe 2 parts where I kind of giggled, but they weren't, one of them was at a joke, the other wasn't. The other was just at a part where I was like, oh, that's exceptionally sad. No, you've got to have at least some comic relief in nearly every kind of movie, but certainly in a superhero movie. It was mind-boggling. So visually stunning. So much so that when the fight scenes took place, you couldn't quite tell what the hell was going on. Like, it felt like rather than teaching the actors to actually fight, like in for The Matrix, Keanu Reeves had to spend weeks learning martial arts and stage combat. No, here's what you do. You run up and jump in front of a green screen, and then we'll just splice you clowns together and make it look like you're fighting. So terrible. And my biggest complaint with pretty much every Batman incarnation is the Batcave. So I get it. You've got, you designed a grappling hook or you designed, some special blades on your sleeves. Well, that's great. That's great. Who built the Batcave? In almost every iteration of Batman, we're talking about $100 million project. There's no way you build a Batcave without, I'm going to say, 200 workers knowing exactly what it is that you built. Now, you could say, he just built a really deluxe bunker garage thing. No, it's too far beyond that. It's too far beyond that. It would raise so many red flags. First of all, you couldn't get permitting for a Batcave, but even if you could, even if you grease the wheels, even if you pay off the city planners, that's fine. You've still got 200 dudes that know you got you a Batcave. So that's fine. That's fine. And in this one, they didn't even explain why Bruce Wayne has these, in the Christian Bale version, they at least explain that he does, government contracting where he designs defense equipment and that he just kept the good stuff for himself. That's fine. I can accept that. But in this one, there's just no explanation. And with a 3-hour runtime, buddy, explanation's the one thing you should find time for. Too many issues. I watched it and thought, who wrote this? Me? And not because, that's a backhanded insult to myself. I just mean, I've taken more interesting turds than this movie from a script perspective. And apparently, the director has been fired for the sequel, which is probably a great idea all around. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. It's a lot of fun, but in a Lord of the Rings sort of way, where some people will watch it more than once, but it's so long. I loved Casino, but it was so long I only watched it once. Just couldn't do it a second time. So there you go. That hot stream presented to your face.
Black and blue. What's with the red man? God versus man.
Your outfit, man.
Dave versus night.
What is
versus
going on up here?
I never know, man.
Dayman!
What? Yeah, I like that.
Fighter of the night, man! Dayman!
Dayman.
Fighter of the night, man! Son! You're a master of karate! And son! You're a master of karate! And friendship for everyone! Dayman, that's it! Dayman! Oh! Titan of the night, man! Oh! You're a master of karate! And friendship for everyone! You're a master of karate! And friendship for everyone! Dayman! Oh! Titan of the night, man! Oh! You're a master of the karate!
For the literally ones of you that care, my Reddit karma experiment ended months ago. I realized I wasn't going to be the fastest to 1 million. My monetization hopes were dashed quickly by just a bunch of idiots. So now I use the account just kind of for fun. And even though I only really worked on the account for 3 months, and now I just kind of use it casually for fun, for posting, to promote subreddits that I moderate, I am still in the top 283 accounts of all time for karma. So, you know, if someone blasts you because they have high karma and you have low karma, you can say, A, it's actually very easy to get. You know, if I cared, if I spent any time, if I focused, I could have it just like you. And B, I'm a loser because I don't have any, and it's so easy to get. You know, you people with your jobs and lives. It's so sad. I mean, really, how do you go home and look at your wife at night and hold her and love her and cherish her and spend time with your children, knowing that you could have more Reddit karma? And remember, you can trade it in for real cash. All you have to do is message me privately and I'll tell you how. No, there's actually a website where you can actually sell your Reddit accounts, but you have to have either a very old account or with lots of karma or tons of, you know, all the things you would expect. And the money you get from it is just weak. Like so weak that I probably wouldn't sell much of any of my accounts. So there's the update on that. For the ones of you who care, there's the update.
My crazy mom. My crazy mom. She's dead. My crazy mom. My crazy mom. She's dead.
My crazy mom indeed. Where do I start? I've got so many, but the good news is I won't have, I do have a finite supply, what with her passage. So, I mean, silver linings. So, here's a good one. Once a week we would go swimming. And it was because her and my stepdad had this, we'll call it a civil meeting, a community meeting. It was an AA meeting. They would go to an AA meeting once a week. And it was at a community center which had a pool. So, great. Drop the kids in the pool, go to the meeting. Kids get out of the pool, go home. Well, every so often, on the way home, they'd buy us ice cream. So one day, we're driving home, I'm eating my ice cream, lickety-lick, love it to bits. Chocolate Mousse Royale from Baskin-Robbins, 31 flavors. And might I say, 31 seems kind of insufficient these days, honestly. Can't update that? Can't add a few more flavors? No? Okay, fair enough. So, just as we get home, I am lickety-licking my ice cream cone. I'm like, you know what? Time to get out of the car, harf it down. I throw it in my, for lack of a better word, pie hole. I'm pretty sure that's the scientific term. And promptly begin to choke. So I'm coughing. Kind of like that. That's me clearing my throat, but it's a similar principle. I am choking. And I realize as I'm getting out of the car, holy shit, I am choking. I am choking like I cannot breathe. I am choking to death. Well, good news, everybody. My mom was a nurse. And I cried, Mom, help. And she looked at me. She goes, are you choking? And I nodded. And so, as a nurse, again, thank God I had a nurse there. She came over and started punching me in the friggin' back. Just like pounding on me. I mean, full on punching me. Now, whether that had anything to do with it or not, who knows? But I promptly barfed up the remainder of the cone and all of the rest of the ice cream. And there I lay, on all fours, gasping for breath on the pavement. And even at that age, I must have been 11 or 12, all I could think is, you're a nurse? My God, how many people have you killed, woman? Well, the answer that day at least was not one more. Because whether her clever decision to eschew the common practice of the Heimlich maneuver, for fuck's sake, or just her overall brilliance, I did not die. As evidenced by this podcast some 35 years later. So, you know, my crazy mom. I mean, how in the hell was she put in charge of people's lives? How many people did she kill? I mean, not through malice, certainly. Although the question is out there. But certainly through negligence, certainly through inexcusable failure to understand even the most basic of CPR. My crazy mom. Meh. There you go.
Check out my superpowers.
My superpower indeed. Oh my gosh, you guys, you know I do have kind of an endless supply of superpowers. And it's not because I was born on an alien planet, though sometimes I wonder, don't we all? No, it's because I've worked my life to refine these skills. So here's what I can do. This is kind of crazy. I have the ability to make things disappear. And I mean, like, literally completely disappear. Like, right out from under your nose. Right, you know, you'd never know where it came from or where it went. No, it's amazing. So here's what I do. For example, let's say you were in front of me right now. I would say to you, hand me $500. And you would not do that. Now, I would ask you again politely. I mean firmly, but politely. Dude, for realsies, give me $500. You'd fight. You'd push back. But that's where we'd begin negotiating, and really, we'll probably settle somewhere around $10 to $20. It's fine. I don't hold that against you. I mean, it's kind of a dick move. I'm showing you my superpowers. If Superman comes down and says, "Hey, man, I need your gun," even though there's no bullets in it, so I can throw it at this guy, because you know how it is. Superman's foes, Superman stands up to the bullets and then the gun comes and he ducks because apparently that has more newtons, which it doesn't, fig or otherwise. So anyway, you give me $20, boom, disappears. Where did it go? Well, if history is any lesson, I would say away. It went away. And so it's just, it's just kind of gone. So, super, just like my powers. Okay, guys, well, let me take a moment to say I could really use some feedback. glossynews.com/podcast has links to the Twitter, the Facebook, the Reddit, all the good stuff. The YouTube, the other YouTube. For the love of God, do what's right. You know it's in your heart. I just need to know that I'm not doing these podcasts into the void. Sure, I would like something for my kids to remember me by when I'm gone. But I plan to live long enough that these will be seriously outdated and they'll only listen to a couple of them. So really, I'm doing it for you guys. I mean, what do we have to do here? Too much. We'll figure it out. Not in the next segment. Not in the rest of this podcast, but at some point in the medium distant future. Okay, fair enough. That's my superpower.
$1 billion business. Ooh. $1 billion business. Free for you. Oh.
Okay, guys, so I've got a $1 billion business idea for you, and this one isn't just for the profit, it's also for the heart and for the love and for the lulls, because it has to do with something similar to the Special Olympics. Now, I understand the Special Olympics. Gosh, those athletes, they train and they work hard, and many of them don't even use steroids, which is, commendable in the world of professional athletics, because I'm sure they could get all kinds of sponsorship deals after the fact, for glue or helmets or something. It doesn't matter what they want to do, they can do it because they have the heart. But there are a number of events that are not allowed in the Special Olympics, and they are the best ones. Did you know there is no, weightlifting, no clean and jerk weightlifting? I hate to say it, but some persons with special needs have incredible strength, like ape strength. I mean, imagine a big-hearted young man just clean and jerking 1,000 pounds. My God, it would be amazing. But why stop there? What I want to see is wrestling. Yes, let those who are differently abled wrestle or box or do ultimate fighting. My God, once they grasp the concept of no eye gouging and fish hooking, it's going to be off the chain. You will see a bloodbath like nothing you've seen before, and it's empowering to them. Not only will you make just millions of dollars, and I mean millions of dollars. Not only that, but you will give them back something that was deprived from them, something they need, the ability to do what you and I do, which is live our lives to the fullest. And if we want to go in a ring and just fucking pound each other in the face until our fists are hamburger and the other guy's head is a bloody stump, so be it. Who are we to tell them what they cannot do? And for that matter, if we're giving rights to those with special needs, why can't we let them do everything else? Did you know it is, in many places, mostly legal to marry someone who is special needs. Now, in additional places, you can marry someone special needs of the same sex. I mean, that's even more interesting. But if your wife sends you a naked picture of her, all of a sudden, you're the bad guy. You're in possession of exploitation porn. It is illegal. So, why not just give them back the power, open the floodgates to a whole new world of really, really special porn? I'm not for it. It's not my thing. I certainly wouldn't look at it. Not even with a morbid sense of curiosity, much as I did looking at Octomom's incredibly awful, like world's worst ever excuse for a porno. That was terrible. I didn't even realize that just being naked was a talent until I saw Octomom's horrible, miserable excuse for nudie video, and then I realized, oh, you actually have to do more than just be naked. Apparently, slapping yourself with a spatula is kind of gross and creepy. I mean, there are few who would argue against the fact that Octomom is not fucking retarded. I mean, clearly. So many warning signs right there. Don't let the lip injections fool you. I'm sure she's got them on both fronts. Not the point. She's terrible. She needs to go away. She has. I guess I'm the only one bringing her back up, but only to explain why people with different needs and different abilities should have the same rights as us, the same privileges as us, the rights and privileges to get into the ring, beat the hell out of each other, and then, I guess, have sex with the other guy's bloody corpse. It's what is normal. It's the natural order of things. So if you can't do that, and by the way, I thought this was America. I thought we had freedoms here. And by the way, I thought we respected the individuality of people regardless of their, regardless of how many dozens of IQ points they have. That's horrible to say. I don't feel that way. Some people do. But I'm just saying, if Trump can run for president, then certainly retarded people can do anything, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So there you go. Here's your $1 billion business idea. Guys, you're going to be so rich. You're going to be so rich once you organize special fight clubs and special wrestling and special ultimate fighting and, of course, special porno. And the good news is you don't even have to bring the crew in on a big old Greyhound or anything. You can just shuttle them in on a short bus. So right there, you're saving a couple $100. I'm just saying. Well, of course, you know what that sound means. It means our week is done. We're done. We're done. I'm done with you people. You are now free to be done with me. We're done. It's fine. I'm happy with it. You know, I do have a closing thought at the end of the podcast, as I almost always do. Some weeks, you know, I just kind of feel like you got enough. I feel like you've already gotten enough love and wisdom and knowledge from me. But where is my love back? Well, here's your opportunity. Go to glossynews.com/podcast and use any of the myriad methods to contact me. Reddit, Facebook, Libsyn, iTunes, YouTube. Who knows, man? I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Just get in touch with me, you dicks. If it wouldn't trouble you too much, don't be a dick. glossynews.com/podcast. Make it happen. Royalty-free music, the intro and the outro, by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. All segment bumpers and backing music by the inimitable Greg the Hero, whose information is presumably in the link below in the description. He's just awesome. He's just awesome. I'm a big fan. What can I say? So let's see. I guess, as brief as this has been, I should move on to closing thoughts, but I'm not gonna just yet. This week I had planned to do a video-free version, but, you know, I just can't do it. So for those of you simply listening, you should really go to YouTube and seek me out, or go to glossynews.com/podcast and click on the link to YouTube, because, you know, YouTube can be dicks about giving me a direct link, whatever, biatches. So if you do that, if you go and check me out on YouTube, you'll see all kinds of great stuff. Visual aids, some context for some of the things you've heard, you know, so much good stuff. So much good stuff. So I guess that means it is time for a closing thought. With video games, the best way to play them is to play them well. Unfortunately, that requires skill, talent, dedication, practice, and endless quarters. So don't play video games. No, forget those. Instead, play pool. The best thing about pool is, the worse you are at it, the better value you get. Me, I pop 50 cents in, I could play for 6 hours. Who knows? I might, if I sink a ball, it's probably sheer chance. It's probably because the building is slightly slanted, and I'm fine with that. Pool, it's a great way to get maximum enjoyment out of, you know, a couple quarters. So there you go. Guys, check me out next week. Monday for the regulars, Sunday for the subscribers. You can subscribe on iTunes, Libsyn, and YouTube just to stay in the know. And, you know, let's see how far this train goes. My guess, final destination, Crazy Town. Just saying. Talk to you soon.